Yo, ain't no place like low place, and I'm live. Let me check my audio, and then we gonna go in on this post-fight review. If y'all want to come in, feel free and hit the thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you my post-fight thoughts on Canelo Alvarez and Danny Jacobs, and I don't plan to be here long. I'm just gonna jump on some other hangouts. But dude, it's the same old thing with Danny Jacobs. The dude is just not a fluid fighter. The only thing he can do fluid is move around the ring. When it comes to countering off the back foot, he's pointless at it. It's useless. I just never felt he could beat Canelo Alvarez unless he was close to Canelo and he got his respect by throwing winging shots. And that is the only success he had, was winging shots. Danny Jacobs is just not a high level top fighter. You will not lie to me and tell me that this man throws haymaker after haymaker after haymaker, and he is not precise with his shots. This is boxing. Look at his face. His face started to swell up because Canelo Alvarez was landing pool stick, cue ball shots. Call your shot, pick your shot. Okay, real left hook, real right hand, real jab, real body shots. Whereas Danny Jacobs is, that's what he's doing. He reminds me of a worthless Sugar Ray Leonard at times. And on top of that, he's not even in position to throw these shots and be comfortable. He squares up a lot and he just gets lucky and he'll unsquare real quick and throw a hook from out of nowhere. And it's really not a hook. It's just anything he can muster up and trying to get you hurt anywhere he can. It's not precise. It's not landing on the chin. It's not landing on the temple. Sometimes he land at the top of the head, sometimes on the forehead. It's just like, dude, he's praying to get lucky. And I cannot watch Danny Jacobs fight no more. I just can't. I can't. And when he fights people that are long, quick, and can punch and have a pedigree about them, not just Canelo, who's stocky and has to break the range, get tired every now and then. No, when you fight real athletes, Canelo's an athlete, but he's a made up kind of athlete. Like Canelo has horrible stamina. He's short. He can't cut range very well. And Danny still got schooled. To me, I wouldn't be mad if anybody said a man didn't win 4 rounds. You do not throw real enough punches to win a fight, bruh. It's clean, effective punches. What? Can't nobody score that mess you doing. I don't know many people at the top level. Maybe Javier Fortuna's that way, but Javier Fortuna is so aggressive and so quick and so fluid that, you know, people get hurt and he goes all bumblebee on them. Danny Jacobs is not fluid at all. He gets hurt. Look, the dude threw a left hook and slipped and fell all over the canvas. My post-fight thoughts of this is I don't want to see Danny Jacobs ever fight again. I just look, I know he beat cancer and look, I know that's a toll on your body. I don't remember Danny before the cancer, right? But I went back and I watched a little bit and I was just like, yo, he's looking more fluid. I know he's younger. Okay, of course he's younger. He looks more fluid. I don't know the toll cancer has on your body, and I pray that I never know, and or no, none of my family members or my loved ones knows. I pray they never know again. But I just think it got to be something, man. That shit attached to your body. It attached in your bones. It spreads, and his body just doesn't move like a normal body. He can't bend his knees. Okay. Every punch he wants to get away from, he doesn't slip outside. He just pulls back. And he got hit by several jabs doing that. All right. He stands straight up. And when he does go down, it looks like he's in too much pain to let his body shots rip. So he just start arm punching him. Danny Jacobs, to me, is a garbage high-level fighter. I'll be honest with you. I believe because middleweight division has been so weak, it's been very weak until now, that he's got away with masking like, okay, I'm top 5, I'm top 3. That's what I believe. I honestly believe this, people. But now, if he takes fights, and I don't think he will, he'll make the excuse, hey, I took a loss, you know what I'm saying? I need to come back, regroup. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a big star. I can get the big fights, whatever. You know what I mean? And nobody should be scared to fight Danny Jacobs. Not a soul should be scared to fight him. You just shouldn't be. He cannot dominate any fight. We have seen he can't dominate the best. He can't get motivated enough to dominate the best. We've seen this. We've seen him fight mediocre fights 3 or 4 fights in a row. You know, one good one, Derevchenko said Lecky wasn't supposed to be as competitive, and he couldn't get a stoppage in either one of those. He couldn't stop Cuba Arias, who was a complete cherry pick. But somehow he gets Canelo Alvarez. I told you people, he got Canelo Alvarez because he's no threat. All you have to worry about with Danny Jacobs is a flat puncher's chance. And he lessens that because he's not precise. He cannot target shots. He cannot put a target on your chin and straight through it. He can't do that round by round. He doesn't do that. He loops, he hooks, and it's ugly. It's ugly. It's damn near unbearable to watch. I'm telling you, there's fighters that I never want to see fight again. It's for different reasons. I don't want to see Adrian Broner fight again. I'm just tired of the dog and pony show. I'm tired of it. Tired of seeing this man get competitive fights that you try to sell to us as competitive because of his name and we already know better. Done with it. I'm good. Don't want to see it no more. He gonna come on TV and I know I'm gonna be watching, but at the end of the day, it's not a want, Adrian. It's a difference between me wanting to watch you and me saying, okay, I'm doing nothing else. I'm watching because I cover boxing. And I don't want to see Danny Jacobs fight again. I do not hesitate when I say that at all. I mean it with all my heart. I don't care to see, unless this man gets in there with the rivalry of him and Jamal Charlo. And be honest with you, Jamal don't need you now, Danny. He don't need you. You refuse to fight. You just lost. You have no belts. I wouldn't want to fight him as the loser. You're not the man in the division. You've never been the man in the division. You're not a Hall of Famer. You're not a pound for pound star. If you start calling Jamal Charlo now, you just admitting you ducked him, and I hope he does the same to you until you sit your ass on the sideline and he go after his mandatory shot with Canelo. It'll be a much better fight than what Danny Jacobs put on. I promise you all that, because Jamal Charlo throws a real jab. Danny doesn't know what a real jab is. He's in there flicking, patting, flicking, picking, platting, picking. And then next thing you know, he throws a big shot. And Canelo just sitting on that shot and just looking at it saying, dude, you have no rhythm. It is not a game when I tell you Danny Jacobs is has some of the worst rhythm in boxing. It's not that I don't like the man. It's not his character. It's certain things he's done I don't like, but those are separate from what I see in the ring. He's admitted it before. He said, I'm trying to work on new things and find new things in my game. He's 30 plus years old. He don't know who he is as a fighter. That's the main problem. No, not the main problem. The main problem, his body cannot do what his brain is probably telling him to do. Or maybe his brain just ain't telling his body to do it. I don't know. He said, Charlo just had a draw with Korobov, though. Really, my dude, did you forgive Danny Jacobs for losing to Selecki? Yes, you did. And did you forgive Danny Jacobs for not stopping Luis Cuba Arias? But Charlo has one fight versus a dude that went deep in the Olympics with all kind of pedigree. Korobov got all kind of pedigree, not the Olympics, but has all kind of amateur pedigree. Been training to fight Jamal Charlo. That's the fight he's been wanting. And you can't forgive that? No, don't do that, bro. Don't do that. You just watch one of the worst fighters in the world. I'm gonna say it. Danny Jacobs is one of the worst so-called top level fighters I've seen. He's horrible. 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 His coach is looking in at that saying, that's what you want. You know what? This is great. You know how Danny Jacobs knocked out Peter Quillen in the first round? If he hadn't did that, if Peter Quillen would have survived that, Danny wouldn't have won the fight. He probably wouldn't. It's like y'all say with Adonis Stevenson. Man, how you gonna rate him on one punch? And then I go to tell you, I was like, no, Adonis has showed ability to win rounds, over 12 rounds, control the fight. You know what I'm saying? Beat all that. But Danny Jacobs, he had the opportunity to be on some Adonis Stevenson type shit. Knock people out in the first round and then go show that you can control whole fights and probably get more early knockouts. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. See, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about levels. He's not there. He is a lucky. See, now he's on the list of, you got lucky with Peter, maybe. You got lucky. You got lucky. You could never respond and do that again, even to lesser competition. That's what a knockout artist is. You continue to hurt people. Lesser competition come up, they get destroyed. Not Danny. Not Danny. He got lucky. He's a lucky artist. And his luck is probably going to run out. Hey, look, if he fights a Charlo, I believe he's going to get his neck jabbed off. Okay? He does have a puncher's chance with one of those crazy shots, but like I said, it's not pinpoint. So you even drop that percentage of it, the percentage of the chance of that even drops then because you're not aiming the shot. You just, if I hit him with a wrist, so be it. That's what he's doing. Canelo got caught with a couple of them. Canelo started making some kind of little adjustments to get away from him. But like I said, Canelo, we know his issues. He can only fight 30 seconds. Next thing you know, he's ready to be hit, fake move his head, sit on the ropes. He did a little better tonight, but he still got tired. He's still tired out in there. Lucky for him, Danny Jacobs don't know how to hop on an opponent. Danny Jacobs hop on an opponent. It's like he looked like he moving around in a blanket. You know how a person moving around in bed in the blanket, and it looked like just everything looked deformed. The cover's high right here, low right here. That's how his combinations look when you get him on the ropes. If you threw a blanket on, it looked like he'd be fighting to sleep. He doesn't throw real punches. He never sits on the shot. He just gets ahead of himself. It looked like his brain is not doing the work. I said earlier that his brain's not telling his body what he wants it to do. But in some instances, it looked like he's just spread up in the head and he can't slow it down. His body don't keep up. Or look, his head, I don't know what to say. His body got ahead of his brain. And it didn't listen to his brain, listen to his train and say, all right hook, sit on it. This shot, yeah, sit on it. Put this one out. Like he's falling over his feet. Can't keep no spacing. And when you can't do that, it's tough to win rounds. It's tough to look like you a ring general. It's tough to look like you are in control. I don't mean to be harm, but I just think harmful or I have no better way to say it. I just think he's a garbage fighter. I have no better way. Can garbage fighters knock out good fighters? Hell yes, man. Hell yes. More technically sound fighter, yes. He has punching chances in all these fights. But man, if I could make other fights, I don't think I'd put him in it. I'd just be like, yo, if I made fights at middleweight, these would be the fights I make. I would make Canelo versus Charlo. I would make Andrade. I don't even know versus Golovkin. I don't know. I would probably just stick with, and look, middleweights ain't as good as people acting like, by the way. It just ain't. Andrade ain't no A-level fighter right now. He ain't. You got to prove that shit. Charlo had a bad showing his last fight. Everybody act like it's the end of the world. Okay? Everybody acts like it's the end of the world. He's a really good fighter. Canelo in his own right is a good fighter. He's experienced. Charlo don't have that much experience. That's the fight I would make. Honestly, I'm not foaming at the mouth for any other fight at middleweight. I do not want to see Golovkin at 37 years old again get schooled by Canelo. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see him, new trainer, looking weaker, looking older. He looked so old tonight he had those sunglasses on so he can look down to 25. They told him, man, you just look 45. We need you to put these glasses on. It's dark as shit in the arena. This man there with glasses on. Why do you think that is? Somebody probably done bust him up in the face. I'd rather some 54-pounders come up and make fights at 160 than to see Golovkin, than tell you I'm putting Golovkin and Danny Jacobs. Golovkin and Danny Jacobs should duke it out. 2 fights. They should make a 2-fight deal with each other. Just duke it out. The old man versus the mechanical, immobile Jacobs. There you go. Competitive fight, but Canelo won. So I still have GGG as the real champion. Canelo is number 2. I don't know what you talk about. Canelo beat Triple G, and I don't know. Look, man, y'all got it. But look, simple as this. Danny is a garbage fighter to me. Why do you get mad at Terrence for not crossing the street, but you give Charlo a pass? It ain't a pass. Charlo's a mandatory. I always told. Go look at my new Twitter at Low Place MLPF. I put it in the chat. Go look at my Twitter. And then I want you to come back and if you don't mind. All right, I say Low Place. This is my new Twitter. Y'all go follow me over there. Check this out. I told Crawford, I said, you acting like you want spins, but you didn't try to be as mandatory. I said, that's how all these mandated fights happen. These across the streets fights happen by mandates. Canelo's mandatory. He don't have to go anywhere. He can just wait till the WBC order the fight and Canelo take the fight. Purse bid, or they work out a deal. Leverage. Canelo uses it, let Charlo. Other than that, you're right. He's on the wrong side of the street, but he's the mandatory for right now. And he's trying to be mandated for lineal champion. So actually, he's in one of the better positions in boxing if the WBC do their job. And after the night, we need a real fight. Canelo needs a real fight. People don't need to act like, oh, Canelo was in so tough tonight. No, he was in with a garbage man. He was in with a guy who doesn't know how to throw punches. Danny Jacobs is not a good fighter. I'm just gonna flat out tell you, he doesn't know how to throw. You cannot be a good fighter when you don't know how to throw punches and you're not relentless in the way you do it wrong. Marcos Maidana sometimes do not know how to throw punches, but he's relentless. Ivan Barancek at times does not throw his punches back, but he's relentless and he's going to make you deal with those punches. Danny Jacobs might throw 3 of those damn things around. He is not a good fighter. I'm sorry. I am sorry. He is a potential early knockout. He's not a Adonis Stevenson where he can knock you out early or control the whole fight. He's not that. Or I'm not saying that every single fight Adonis was unfazed, but you've seen during his fighter of the year run, he could win every round. He could knock everyone out. Danny Jacobs cannot win every round. He cannot knock everyone out. He can't even knock the C-level fighters he fights out at times. I'm good on him. I'm good. Don't do me. Don't do me. Don't tell me what's boxing and what's don't do it, man. I'm telling you, the guy. Honestly, I think it's something with the cancer he went through, all the radiation, chemotherapy, all those things that break your body down. You can come back, but come on, man. Come on. Y'all got to see what I'm seeing. It's so mechanical. It's so bendy. He has to bend his knee in order to drop his hip and all of that. You know what I mean? It's like, I know you got to do that anyways. Of course, you got to bend your knees to drop your hip, but his is just noticeable. It's like, damn, dude, you have to fold up 7 feet before you get low. You're not even 7 feet, but you have to fold up 7 complete feet before you can drop the body and throw a real shot, man. And it's just few and far between that his body can do what you're trained to be able to do. So I honestly think something is lingering from that. I pray that, everything stays in remission or whatever that is, doesn't come back to him. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I do think there's some lingering effects from all that lifestyle change. I truly do. And I don't think Canelo was in a tough fight tonight. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm not interested in nobody tell me he shouldn't fight his mandatory because it was a tough fight. He's just not a tough fight, people. He basically could push him back at any time he want. Sean Porter's a tough fight. Now, if Keith Thurman told you, hey, man, I need a year, I'm taking it off after that shit, I would agree. That's a tough fight. He used his shoulders, his elbows, his head. He doesn't throw all his punches correctly, but what did I just say? He's relentless in making you deal with what he's good. Danny's good at throwing these stupid ass shots. That's what I'm trying to say. He's good at throwing these stupid ass shots. But you're not doing what you're good at. You put them up. You wrap around in the shoulder roll and you sit there for a long time. And then you start acting like you some kind of great counterpuncher. And you got to lower. Look, you got to lower Canelo Alvarez. He's shorter than you. And you're trying to bend down and you all malfunctioning while you're bending down. And that's making it even worse that he's short. You can't get the shots off. He went low a couple times, several times he went low. But Canelo didn't even have to say, yo, it was low because it was an arm punch he was throwing, people. Flat out arm punches. Please don't tell me I'm looking at the best middleweights. Don't tell me middleweight is stacked. Don't. If that bruh. But Turbiev just outperformed both of them tonight. If you wasn't watching on ESPN, but Turbiev put on a dog show. He beat the hell out of Hot Rod Kalajic, unlike Marcus Brown did. But Turbiev threw his name in the hat and said, y'all got to come see me. I'm ready to see somebody. He said, so I heard a video uploader say Canelo will ask Earl Spence to come up to middleweight and fight him. I already said that in the last video. I said it's going to be either him or Terrence Crawford. And maybe he won't. Maybe after the night, if y'all hype Canelo enough, he'll fight a middleweight. Maybe he will. He'll fight Charlo. Tell him, you did so great. You fought the toughest guy in the world. And if Canelo don't use the route of, I fought a tough fight, so y'all let me get a baby one in. He'll fight Charlo. I think he will. And that's the fight to make at middleweight. I don't care what the naysayers say, the people who don't want to see Charlo get shots, who don't do that. Don't do that. Canelo needs a real fight. Gennady Golovkin is aging and done. All right. He's not fighting Steve Rose for no reason. He's not declining a Charlo fight for no reason. Let him go. Let him just fall into the backdrop and say it's over. All right. And maybe you say Andre, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to see Canelo fighting people that don't commit to their punches. I don't. I don't. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. That's what I seen tonight. I don't want to see the amateur style of Andre coming in and swinging arm shots. I want to see a man fight. I want to see men fight men. That's what I want to see. Danny Jacobs fights. If Tank Davis was around and he saw that and y'all wouldn't get on his back, he would have said he fought like a tomboy. And I would say, yeah, you kind of right. I say, yeah, you kind of right. Yeah, the dude be tomboying it up in this joint. He tomboyed it up a few. He got Canelo on the ropes one time, and he just like slap. I was like, bro, slap. He don't punch. He swings. He swings and slaps. Swing with it, slap with it, swing with it, slap with it, swing with it, slap with it, swing with it, slap with it. That's how Danny Jacobs fight. And I'm just cool on that. I'm straight. But yeah, I don't want to see Golovkin, Canelo. I don't. As a matter of fact, if they make the Earl Spence fight, I guess if this is my options for Canelo. My list of names. I would go Charlo, Jared Hurd, then Earl Spence. To be honest with you, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I mean, matter of fact, like Derevyanchenko's. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like I throw Derevyanchenko's in. I would go Charlo, Hurd, competitive middleweights that I might not be thinking of right now. Let's say Derevyanchenko. Let's look at the top 10. Let's look at it because I want to get it right. Man, that was horrible from Danny. That was absolutely horrible. And I'm not saying he didn't win no rounds and Canelo, because Canelo gasses. So like, but if Canelo was a complete fighter, and what holds him back is his stamina. If he was a complete fighter, he'd beat the hell out of him. It would have been round by round destruct. Can you imagine Danny Jacobs in the ring with a Lomachenko? Can y'all imagine that? Like a force that can actually box and move. He would get, bruh, stop it. We already seen it. Actually, Pirog beat the hell out of him. Okay, so you got Selecki. Man, middleweight ain't that deep. We be overrating it. Let me check. That's not the ranking I want. You know I don't follow Canelo that much because I type in Canelo box rec and don't know, no hurry up link comes. I can't remember what you call that, but like no reminder, like you've been here before, click it, go ahead and go. You know, none of that memory pops up. I gotta type in whole Canelo box rec. I just don't keep up with the dude. You know, politics just turn me off. You know what I mean? Here we go. Let's go to middleweight. So we got Alvarez, we got Golovkin, we got Jacobs, we got Charlo. He's beat those two. You got Jeff Horn is rated at number 5 at middleweight on BoxRec. What in the hell, BoxRec? David Lemieux, number 6. I wouldn't be surprised they make that. Yawn. Derevyanchenko, Andre, Rob Brandt, Selecki. Nah, man, middleweight ain't cracked up. What y'all talking about? It just ain't cracked up like that. It ain't cracked up. And with Golovkin aging and Danny Jacobs also aging too. Let's just be honest. They aging. You know, neither one of them have significant careers. Danny don't have a significant career, neither does Gennady Golovkin. Not significant wins, none of that. Jacobs is a B-level fighter. I can agree. You know, we want to put him up there, and Golovkin's no better than A minus. You know, just for anybody to say, "What he went 7 rounds with Golovkin?" No, that's not a great fighter either. It is what it is. They just in a division where they are the best fighters. I said that pre-fight, and I hold strong to that after I watched those performances. These guys are just not. Canelo's not even great. Canelo's sitting there losing rounds to a guy that slaps because he's too tired to fight. He said there has been rumors about Canelo Kovalev. Look, if that's at 175, Canelo's going to get beat up. All right, you're not, dude. You better sit your ass down. You better sit your ass down. Honestly, if you, bruh, go do it. Go do it, and you're gonna see what a real fighter look like. Look, I watched the ESPN card while this was on. And Canelo, I was watching Kovalev Alvarez highlights they show. And Kovalev was just landing some of the cleanest combination, head knocking jabs. And then we got in this fight, and I was just like, damn, Danny, like Beterbiev performed so beautiful tonight. Beterbiev, he looked smooth, he looked fast, he looked strong. Beterbiev looked like an animal tonight. Neither one of these dudes impressed me. Neither one. Danny Jacobs is not a guy that if you're the best in the world, you go 12 rounds with. You treat him like Pirog treated him. It's not for nothing that Pirog dominated him, stopped him, had him squatting to his knees and beating the life out of him. It's because he's uncoordinated and he can't move. He can't function. And that's what I'm telling you. Canelo's not that guy. Jacob, none of these are that guy. Maybe Charlo's not even that guy. I like to see Charlo and Canelo fight more than anybody in those divisions. In that 160. I'd rather see them two fight anybody in the world than to really watch anything else at that division. He said, let's see Errol Spence versus Canelo at a catchweight. Honestly, I ain't interested, but I mean, I guess. I don't like skipping the 154, coming up two-weight divisions. I don't like it. And I knew Canelo was gonna try this shit. Like, that's why nothing. I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, this guy, man, this guy just ain't got it though, bro. Some fighters got it. Some fighters just don't got it. He said he was also 23 when period. I don't care how it was. He ain't changed. Still straight up and down. Still useless movement. Still not being able to counter off the back foot. Still doesn't sit on punches. Still throws on punches. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm about to get out of here though, man. Like, just wasn't fun to me tonight. That just wasn't fun. I can't wait to Josh Taylor versus Baranchik, and we'll see two real fighters with two real plans. That real staminas. You know what I mean? Not this hyped up crap. That was a bunch of hyped up crap. When Beterbiev sits there and fights a guy like High Ride Kalajic and gets a knockout, and you know what I mean? They both on the same level, and then these two guys get on the same level, and you see what you're saying. I'm good, But hey, man, if you're listening, I appreciate it. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, go ahead and do so now. I greatly appreciate it. It's 25 people watching live and only 6 upvotes. Let's run that upvote up. Come on, man. Hit that upvote if you already haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell icon to get notifications the next time I go live and talk big boxing events or any other small boxing event and my controversial opinions on boxing, because a lot of people say they're controversial, but y'all don't never give me any fight or fighter that y'all be talking about that overperformed, so I don't see how they so controversial. This was not an overperformance by Canelo. This was completely a waste of time by Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs said that MF are gonna get it. What is he gonna get? You ain't bringing him to it to get it. You're trying to get lucky with a level. You trying to get lucky with an overhand, over shoulder, behind the head, right hook? Nah, bro. Ain't no place like low place to the next time.